So I started exploring this idea of subliminal acoustic manipulation. The basis of this has to do with widespread acoustic manipulation of populations. This kind of inquiry started because of a thought that our phones, our technology, our phones, computers, and TVs are sending invisible, like unheard frequencies, or they are integrating frequencies into the programming that are subliminally manipulating our thoughts to encourage predictable behavior in the people experiencing these things. And more specifically, I had been exposed to this idea that there is more of a unified, malicious, almost attack taking place. There was a post that I had seen which highlighted a patent that is an actual patent through the U.S. Patent Office, and I confirmed that through the government database on this, that there is technology that has been patented which can manipulate individuals through sound, and it's done through computers and TV. So there is a patent that exists. It is possible to do this. It is supported by data, evidence, science. And so I wanted to explore this even further to understand it better. And I came across this lecture from the Stevenson Institute of Technology, which has exposed me to how much bigger this potentially is, or whatever. So interesting video, and I like it because it's providing the historical background on all of this, and a lot of the ideas of, quote, sound control began in like the 20s and 30s for stage acting. And so these were developments for theater that were originally made in order to enhance this theater experience, and to there's a name of a person who's the leader in all of this, and by leader I mean like thought leader, versus like leader of this weird whatever. And his whole thing was, making the theater feel alive for the audience. And so it was very artistically motivated originally. But behind that, there was this element that in order to do this, the audience needed to have, it's a pretty common idea in theater that the audience needs to have this separation. It's like the theater takes them outside of reality, that there's this, I don't even know. So, but the underlying idea in this thing is that the audience can't really see, they shouldn't see the mechanisms that are creating these effects, because if they did, then it would remove the mystique of it and create, it wouldn't feel as real. And so anyway, so they're making these developments for the theater, and I'm not going to get into all of the technical details right now, because I want to get into shortly after they had made these advancements, there was an emphasis on the psychological impact, because again, same principles as before. There was this idea of how can we direct or create these predictable emotional reactions, sort of guide the audience to a desired emotional reaction, to feel the feelings, right, without them knowing. And it kind of naturally led to these this idea of how can we create these effects without even them hearing the sound. And so they explored frequencies and rhythms that audiences didn't hear but were present. So an example being this drum frequency, or unheard drum frequency that would build up into an audible one. So they start feeling the feeling in their head before they hear the sound. And then when the sound stopped, when the frequency stopped, they would feel this sense of relief. Anyway, oh man, I'm gonna have to make another video, but shortly after these developments, and during World War II, they began to explore these same things for warfare. So there is an actual connection to war and sound. I'm going to get into some crazier details in the next few videos.